Hello, everyone. Who doesn't know John 5, the down-to-earth guitarist who has played a vital role in the world of rock and metal music? With his incredible playing and impressive technique, John 5 is one of the most influential yet underrated guitarists in the industry. Beyond his remarkable career as a solo artist, he is also known for collaborating with major artists like Rob Halford, Rob Zombie, and Marilyn Manson. However, behind his eccentric appearance and mesmerizing guitar skills lies another side of John 5 that is rarely discussed. In this video, we'll dive deeper into the lesser-known aspects of John 5's life, starting from his colorful career journey, the wealth he has accumulated through his dedication and talent, his intriguing romantic relationships, to his hobbies and interests that reveal the unique side of this humble guitarist. Let's dive in together. Early life. John William Lowry, known as John 5, was born on July 31, 1970, in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. He began playing guitar at the age of 7 after being inspired by the TV show Hee Haw, which he watched with his father. Jimmy Henley, a skilled banjo player featured on the show, became a major motivator for John to take music seriously. His parents were very supportive of his hobby as long as it didn't interfere with his education. This encouragement led John to form his first band, Dirty Tricks, which won a band contest when he was in 6th or 7th grade. He took guitar lessons from Robert Gillespie, a renowned guitarist from Detroit, who introduced John to classic blues and rock and roll. John was even invited to perform at bars late at night, despite being very young. His musical influences included icons such as the Monkees, Kiss, Eddie Van Halen, Randy Rhoads, Jimi Hendrix, and Yngwie Malmsteen. John fondly recalls his early attempts to imitate Jimi Hendrix by playing the Star-Spangled Banner with his teeth. However, the experiment ended in disaster when he chipped a tooth, which made his mother furious. At the age of 18, John decided to move to Los Angeles to pursue his dream of becoming a professional guitarist. His early days in the city were challenging, including being robbed on his very first night. Nevertheless, his determination remained unwavering. He began showcasing his talent door to door and eventually joined the band Alligator Soup. His impressive performances caught the attention of Rudy Sarso, who invited him to dinner and offered to work with him. This opportunity led John to meet producer Bob Marlette, opening doors for his career as a session guitarist. John started working on numerous projects with Marlette, including TV show soundtracks, film soundtracks like Speed 2 Cruise Control, as well as commercials and infomercials. These experiences earned him a spot playing with Lita Ford as an opening act for Kiss. This also marked the beginning of long-term friendships with various members of Kiss, including a close bond with Paul Stanley, who later invited John to guest on his album, Live to Win. Career and success. John 5's career continued to flourish with memorable collaborations. One of his early achievements was working with Rob Halford in the industrial band 2. They recorded the album Voyeurs at Trent Reznor's studio in New Orleans. Although the album was not commercially successful, the album generated a controversial video for the song I Am a Pig, which featured S&M themes and gained limited attention. After the band 2 disbanded, John 5 joined David Lee Roth to work on the DLR Band album. This opportunity came about when John contacted Roth's management, offering his original songs, which caught Roth's attention and led to the album being completed in just 2 weeks. After recording the album Mechanical Animals, Marilyn Manson was looking for a new guitarist to replace Zim Zoom, who had left the band during the recording process. John 5 decided to audition. After finishing a tour with Rob Halford in Europe, he received a call from Manson's manager, inviting him to meet. During their lunch meeting, Manson immediately asked John to join the band and gave him the stage name John 5, a decision Manson had already considered. John 5 then officially signed on for the Mechanical Animals tour and to work on the next album. His first performance with Marilyn Manson took place at the MTV Video Music Awards, marking an important moment in his career. During the opening of The Beautiful People at the 2003 Rock am Ring Festival, Manson was walking across the stage when he struck John 5's guitar and chest with his boot. John 5 became angry and threw his guitar while shouting at Manson, which sparked a lot of speculation. In an interview with Eddie Trunk, John 5 revealed that the on-stage incident with Marilyn Manson happened during a difficult time in his life. He had just lost his sister, and he received the tragic news while on tour in Europe, shortly after stepping off stage. The news hit him hard and he experienced sleep disturbances for several days. John 5 explained that his emotional reaction on stage was due to his unstable mental state, not a fault of Manson. He admitted that Manson had actually tried to help by asking John to pick up his guitar again, but he was too emotional to respond appropriately. John 5 felt guilty about the incident and considered it a bad situation brought on by heavy emotional pressure. In 2004, John 5 and Marilyn Manson decided to part ways. Although there were rumors that John was suddenly fired, the reality was that their separation occurred amicably. John explained that by the end of the tour, they had different visions. Manson wanted to write songs with the other band members, while John wanted to focus on other projects. In 2005, John 5 formed the band Loser and began working on their debut album, Just Like You. The band's name reflected John's childhood experiences as a rock kid in the elite neighborhood of Grosse Pointe, Michigan. Loser's song, Disposable Sunshine, was featured on the soundtrack of the movie Fantastic Four, but scheduling conflicts with John's commitments as Rob Zombie's guitarist caused tension. Despite attempts to find a replacement during the Loser tour, Island Records disagreed and ultimately decided to drop the band. John then decided to leave Loser and focus fully on his role as Rob Zombie's guitarist. His collaboration with Rob Zombie began at Ozzfest 2005, where John described the opportunity as an incredible experience, as Zombie was one of his favorite artists. This partnership continued to grow and became a significant part of his career. In May 2021, John 5, along with Rob Zombie, Nikki Sixx, and Tommy Clufetos, formed the supergroup LA Rats. In October 2022, John 5 was appointed as the touring guitarist for Mötley Crüe, replacing Mick Mars after Mars retired due to health issues. In addition to his work with bands, John is also active in releasing instrumental works. Starting in 2004 with the album Vertigo, he has released 10 instrumental albums featuring collaborations with musicians like Albert Lee, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, and Jim Root. In 2009, he also released a remix album titled Remixploitation. John 5's colorful career has solidified him as one of the most prolific guitarists in the music industry. Wealth. As of 2024, John 5's net worth is estimated to be between $10 to $12 million, and his earnings may continue to grow. As a multi-genre guitarist, he earns income from various sources, including his solo career with 10 instrumental albums. Additionally, he is well known for his collaborations with major artists and his partnership with renowned guitar brand Fender, which has been by his side for several years. His earnings also come from music licensing used in films and television. Major projects, world tours, and collaborations with music brands have all contributed to his financial success, establishing him as one of the most talented guitarists in the music industry. Romantic relationships. John 5 has been married 3 times throughout his life. In 2005, he married actress and adult magazine model Aria Giovanni, but their marriage was short-lived and ended in divorce in 2006. On June 7, 2009, John married Rita Agajani, a professional hairstylist. Rita has appeared in several of John 5's music videos, including I Am John 5 and Zoinks. She and her husband live together with their 3 children. She has a son and is a stepmother to a son and daughter from John's previous marriage. The couple has been together for over a decade, proving that their relationship remains strong and enduring to this day. Vehicle. John has an interesting story about his journey with various cars he has owned. As a teenager in Grosse Pointe, his father gifted him a 1985 Ford Thunderbird as his first car. Although he was just learning to drive, he would secretly take the car to late-night concerts in Detroit. I felt so free, like I could go anywhere, and I didn't drink, smoke, or do drugs, so my parents let me do whatever I wanted. He claims to have always been a responsible driver, never getting into an accident or receiving a ticket. John's first car as a rock star was a Mercedes from around 1999, after he found success in the music industry as Marilyn Manson's guitarist. I was so excited about that car, and I remember I would often drive Marilyn Manson around because he couldn't drive. However, there was an unpleasant experience when Manson opened the window to vomit, and unfortunately, his vomit got all over the side of the car. He reminisces about driving Manson, even though he had to clean up Manson's vomit from the side of his car. Currently, John enjoys luxury cars like the 2019 BMW i8 and Range Rover. He praises the BMW i8 for its sleek design, fuel efficiency, and comfort. Meanwhile, the Range Rover is his practical choice due to its large size and ability to carry musical equipment like guitars, amplifiers, and drums. These cars reflect his modern yet functional lifestyle. Hobbies. John Five, a talented guitarist with a unique style, is also known for his deep love of classic horror films. He has openly expressed his admiration for horror films from the 1940s and 50s, naming Dracula's Daughter, Son of Dracula, House of Dracula, as well as classic works like Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, and Ghost of Frankenstein as his favorites. "I've watched a lot of horror films from the 40s and 50s, he says. For John, these films are not just entertainment, but also a source of inspiration that evokes nostalgia and creativity. Additionally, John Five has teamed up with PETA to support a pet adoption campaign. In the campaign video, he shares the story of Churro, a dog who was found nearly dead in a box in the San Bernardino desert. "We really can't go anywhere without him. He's always with us. He's just part of the family." The campaign aims to encourage animal lovers to adopt dogs and cats from shelters rather than buying from pet stores or breeders. "It's so important to adopt because you see these helpless animals and they just want to be loved," and he says. "You can see it in their faces, and when you adopt, it enriches your life."